One day, I received a phone call from my aunt and uncle inviting us to attend a family function. Although my family wasn't interested in going, they insisted I should attend. I planned for leave and set off for the function, driving 200 kilometers in my car. When I was about 10 kilometers away, I suddenly realized I had forgotten the route. I opened Google Maps and, following the navigation, I took a road that seemed unfamiliar. It was pitch dark and the area was eerily silent, broken only by strange whispering sounds that sent chills down my spine. The road was deserted. The navigation said I was just 500 meters away from my destination, but I didn't recognize the place. It was unfamiliar, and I couldn't recall ever being there before. Suddenly, I heard the notification. "You've arrived." But to my shock, there was no sign of a function. Instead, there was just a single house. As I sat confused, my aunt appeared at the door, smiling warmly. She came out to welcome me. I was startled. I asked her, "Aren't you going for your daughter's wedding?" She smiled strangely and replied, "It's been so long since I've seen you. I missed you and wanted you to visit, so I said that." Feeling uneasy but unable to refuse her hospitality, I went inside. The atmosphere was unsettling. A cat sat nearby, staring at me unblinkingly, which made me increasingly uncomfortable. Adding to the strangeness, my phone had no signal. My aunt served me a chilled juice, followed by a delicious non-vegetarian meal. I ate until I was full and spoke with her for some time. Then I told her I should leave. But my aunt insisted, "Stay the night and leave tomorrow morning." I declined politely, saying, "I have a lot of work tomorrow, so I must go." She stared at me quietly for a moment and said in a low voice, "Please stay the night." Her gaze was unnerving and my heart began to race. Something felt off, terribly off. When she went to the kitchen, I quickly ran to my car, desperate to leave. I tried starting it, but the engine wouldn't turn over. I made multiple attempts, but the car refused to start. Just then, I saw her standing at the door, watching me. She started walking toward the car. My panic grew, and in one last desperate attempt, the car finally roared to life. I sped away, glancing in the rearview mirror. To my horror, the house and my aunt had vanished. There was nothing but darkness behind me. After what felt like an eternity, I reached the main road. Exhausted and shaken, I finally arrived home. My mother came to my room, worried, and asked, "Where have you been all this time?" I told her, "I went to Aunt and Uncle's house for the function. They just wanted to see me, so I stayed for dinner but left as soon as I could." My mother's face turned pale. "What are you talking about?" she said. "Your aunt called earlier and said you didn't come to the function. The wedding is over and they were waiting for you." She showed me pictures of the wedding that my aunt had sent her. I was frozen in shock. Who or what had I met that night? It was a nightmare I'll never forget. Please subscribe to our channel.